Let the fade away on every day. Let the fade away. So doing this live stream thing. I'm gonna be waiting for some people to get in here. See, you got one viewer. I wonder if I touch that. I can see. No. Oh, hey, what's up, Super? What's up, Super? Super OD. What's going on, bro? Just trying out this live stream thing right now. Hey, what's up, car? What's up, awesome car guy? Just trying out this, like I said, trying out this live stream thing. I wanted to bring, get back into bringing some regular content back, back up on YouTube and whatnot. I've been slacking on it. Haven't been able to get out to locals since a lot of them died around my area. So, there's that. Plus, school's a thing. Just trying to shift through life, but definitely, I think the game's in a good place right now. I think it's moving, moving in a good direction, and I've been having fun. I've actually been having some fun this format, despite how cookie cutter Thavis is. You got your Overlord. You got your Overlord deck complete? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, liking this format. I actually haven't played against Gridora yet, so there is that personally. But I've seen Gridora being played. It kind of just seems like it just tries to out advantage you, but that's neither here nor there. We're gonna talk about decks. I'm gonna talk to you guys about investing in a deck now with an unknown future, and we're also going to just talk a little bit about meta, and obviously we can do a question and answer. I can ask you questions, you ask me questions, you know how it goes. So planning on live streaming for about an hour, so to speak. Get a nice hour session and maybe go over. We usually go over with our things, so you know how it is. Ultimatum 16. Hey King, how crazy is the meta about to be post Galaxy Stargate? Well, my good friend Maxim Solemn. I don't know if you saw his video. I liked his video. I liked it a lot. Personally, I think the meta, like literally where the meta is right now, you have a couple of different decks too. And I was talking to a good buddy of mine, Vitaru. He was saying that every clan does have something that's going that can be competitive. Obviously, there are going to be certain decks that just have access to more and can do more than others, but every clan is more or less has some sort of competitive build for it, minus Token Rambu in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. But as far as the meta post Stargate, since we're not counting it, I think that Victor is going to become a problem, and I do agree with Maxim Solemn. Been in discussions with him. I watched Victor on Area. It's just a nasty deck, and I've said this for a long time, that Victor seems to be the one deck where it does Aquaforce things, but better. And that to me is a big problem. It does Aquaforce things, but a lot better than what Aquaforce, actually does. And what the new support is, they've added in draw power, resist mechanics, multiple resetting power. You can hit like GB3 or 4 in your first stride or something like that, because that new Victor can keep flipping up a G or G zone. You can keep flipping up the G guard so that and then it has anti-lock mechanics now. So I honestly think that Victor is going to be possibly definitely a top 3 deck. Not going to say it's number 1, but I'm going to say it's definitely top. It's going to be definitely top 3. Chaos Breaker is obviously going to be up there, top 3. Close is an outstanding card. I know people are playing Molipton. I'm not the biggest fan of that card, but I can see why people like to play that to get rid of hand. But Chaos Breaker is going to be outstanding still. Close is amazing. Althania is pretty nice. We already have Deluge being a fantastic card. So, yeah, I think Chaos is going to be up there. You know, as far as those two decks go, you know, when we think about it, I think that I think ZTBs are still very competitive. I think ZTBs are still a very strong, very good deck. They're definitely going to be around, especially with their upcoming support and set. We're also going to be Aquaforce, Thavis, I think that has enough to sustain it for quite a while. So I really liking the Thavis support going into next set. What else is there? Overlord, obviously. Overlord is fantastic. You can't sleep on Overlord. Even though certain decks in the top area do have a bit of a good matchup against it, I think Overlord has a very strong matchup against Chaos. Has a strong matchup against, you know, Ghidorah and other things like that. So, yeah, it's definitely something to look forward to. So, yeah, I think the meta after Post Stargate is definitely going to be Nova Grapplers in a fight for the lead with Chaos. And then, you know, right next to them, maybe below them a bit, you know, you're going to see, you know, at least for American meta, you're going to see Thavis, you're going to see Overlord. I think that Ghidorah is going to see a lot of play, but I am not sure how far she gets in tournaments. I haven't really seen many results for Ghidorah, but I think she's definitely a great deck. Good control, but I'm wondering if she has an actual finisher. Night Rose could be a sleeper deck in that too. Harry, I see you saying Harry be a local threat. Probably a local threat, but I don't know if it's going to be a meta threat. So my idea on that is basically like when you look at the meta, you obviously when you look at the meta, you obviously recognize that there are stores that, or excuse me, stores, that there are decks that have a lot of potential stuff, but also it takes a player to play it. Like I can say like shit, you know, Battle Sisters is one of the best decks of the format. I can say that, but are they going to get a heavy representation at a regional? Probably not. So, you know, as far as Harry goes with this new strike, yes, he can counteract certain things like against Chaos, I believe, but does the deck have enough to consistently win against the top competition? Can it survive against, you know, getting Denial Griffined and having their combos stunted? And does it have enough defense to sustain itself going in? You know, I've seen Nova Grapplers destroy people on the first stride. Aquaforce destroy people and or put people in the corner there. Gear Chronicles do the same thing. Ghidorah stop them from doing anything. You know, I think Ghidorah definitely has a great matchup against Pale Moons in a sense by being able to shut down the column and all their other abilities that lets you stun and things like that. So, maybe a local threat for people who don't know how to play it as a surprise deck. But as far as the meta deck, I don't think it's going to get enough representation as far as a massive player base in order for it to be considered a heavy threat, you know, like one of those heavy hitter threats. What could improve the game in the upcoming series? Shit, I don't know. I would probably say just maybe more things that work without being restricted for stride. Or, you know, maybe something more defensive. Because to me it seems like, you know, you're finishing games between your first and second stride nowadays. Sometimes getting to third stride and whatnot, but I think maybe, you know, something to maybe slow down the game a bit. trying to get back to his original form. And actually, you know what? Because I'm a Dragon Ball Super player, I'm gonna say this from experience from there. More player interaction, something that allows you to interact with your opponent at different phases of the game. Kind of like how if you guys play Yu-Gi-Oh, you have something like an effect veiler. Now, I'm not saying that we put an effect veiler in the game, which could be nice in a way, but something that allows you for more interactions. Because the only real interactions that we have, you can say hand traps. Yeah, hand traps in a way, but maybe cards that have more defensive capabilities, on defense when you guard with it. Because that's really the only thing we're doing, is that only interaction we have is is guarding our opponent's attacks, and then either waiting for a trigger tech or just guarding just enough so you have enough shield. But I would like to see some more player-to-player interaction. And for the love of God, please, I want Bushiroad to actually print commons and rares that are going to be useful and be used, and expand creativity within decks. I hate the fact that you get a deck box or something like a deck. What do they call them? A box. A box of a set, and all you're looking for is triple rares and double rares. But most of the commons and rares are just trash. It's like, well, this is a new card that came out, okay, but the older cards are still better. I want to see more commons and rares come into the game that actually do something that actually will spark a lot new deck ideas. So the decks in the game are not staple based. It's like, oh, you have to run this, you have to run this. This card is just so so inferior to this. I want to see more of that. Let's see, what do you think Geeze's skill will be? Yeah, I think Geeze is going to do something where he uses the Zeroth Dragons, because it looks like he's going to be staying on the Vanguard circle. So I think it's going to be something where he gains the skill of a Zeroth Dragon or something like that, but at a high cost, something that's not super broken. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Geese seems like it said that he's going to be a powerful card, but we might have another Glendios. I don't know. But the Zeroth Dragons are kind of nasty. I mean, if you get the skill of a Zeroth Dragon, it's like, oh hey Zoa, if I hit you, if you don't have a perfect guard, well, I win. Drachma, goodbye Vanguard. So we'll see. Haven't played in a long time. What are the biggest decks in the metagame now? Let's see. So, basically, from what I've seen, and because I played at our Dynasty Cup tournaments, judged one of them, played in two of them, topped them, I can say that the biggest decks in the meta currently right now, before the release of the Stargate Booster in a few weeks, is Aquaforce is definitely one of them. Thavis mainly. Blue Waves are, I see some people do play Blue Waves, but they do fall short. Kagero, definitely. I think Kagero is possibly number one. Ghidorah. ZTB is still out there. Chaos, definitely. So I would say those decks are more or less the big meta decks right now. You still have some other decks floating around. Luard floats around here and there, but some people have dropped it. You see Battle Sisters here and there, Deleters. Deleters and Messiahs kind of like bringing up the rear from that angle. So, yeah, but those decks I mentioned previously. Yeah. I would actually love to see a side deck in this game too. Is anyone getting affected by ZRs? No. Actually, believe it or not, when I was playing in the tournaments and whatnot, and this even happened to me, I got Drachma. Rolled my 3, still lived. I've seen a lot of people, use the ZR as Megiddo, and majority of the time, believe it or not, and this is just me, I don't know about your area or what you've seen, but people tend to lose when they go into the ZRs. I personally don't think that they are timing the ZRs correctly or are able to do anything when striding into the ZR. Now, I did see somebody win on Drachma. Opponent was at 5 damage, cooked out 3 cards from the hand, forced him to ride something. Couldn't do much, yeah. But, Megiddo I don't think is that strong. It can be, but I think it's strongest in the Grand Blue deck. Zoa, to me, Zoa freaking sucks. If you got a perfect guard, you win, basically. Ultima, I think, is a cool card. Might be pretty nasty. Might be pretty nasty in Royals. Blaster Royals. I think that's going to be pretty nasty there. I don't know about Brave, but I think Royal with the Flogel crit trigger and Blaster Blade restanding, yeah, I think it might be nasty. Dust is going to be stupid in Gear Chronicles, especially the new gears. And Dark Irregulars. Oh, right, I forgot to mention Dark Irregulars. That's another pretty big meta deck to me. I think Dark Irregulars, again, they're one of those decks that's really good, but it's again, you're playing Russian roulette a little bit, and it's something that's going to take time to play with, learn how to play with it, what you're going to do with your soul, manipulating your soul. Obviously, there's a chance you're going to show charge all triggers, but they have like Blader Mouse and things like that. So I think Dark Irregulars are a very strong deck, but suffer from some of the same issues, not enough representation and things like that. If the new Vanguard series introduces a new clan, yes, this is Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper. I endorse this. If we get a new clan in the new series, I am building it. You heard it here first. From the horse's mouth. Nay. I am building that new clan. Whatever it is, don't care what nation. I'm building that new clan. I learned my lesson from not investing in Gear Chronicles. Not doing that again. New clan, baby. That's what we do. New clans. I don't know what the hell the new series called. I just know it's the new series. New Victor support doesn't make me salty at all. I'm just gonna practice against Black Steve and I'll be good. What trial decks would I like to see represent what clans from the new series? What clans would I like to see represented in the new series? Probably stuff that doesn't get a big spotlight, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Genesis maybe get something. I would not mind seeing... what was that stupid clan that I was thinking of? I wouldn't mind seeing Narukami take the helm. Obviously, I would love to see Aquaforce be a main character clan as well, but that's probably not going to happen as usual. Yeah, but, something that's not Shadows or Royal Paladins. I think Neo Nectar was a fair choice, personally, as a main character clan, so there is that. So, do you think people ever get a Cardfight Vanguard game in the USA? I don't trust Bushiroad. I don't trust them to give us a proper Cardfight Vanguard. Oh, that's good. Proper Cardfight Vanguard card game. So, online. If that's true, I can finally stop playing Area, and that'll be great. But I don't trust Bushiroad to be able to produce that. Even though they did produce one for Japanese, I don't think they're going to do that here, personally. I ain't playing Pale Moon. I'm not going down that road. I went down the road of Pale Moon once in my career. And that was back in the Link Joker format, when we were getting the reverse cards. I traded for a Lukier Pale Moon deck. I love Lukier. I love that deck. It was so fun. But not a Pale Moon player. Not a fan. I'm good. But that also actually one of the questions in response to basically the new series brings me to this thing. And I would like to see what you guys think about it as well. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you like the video as well. I have a predicament. I want to invest in Chaos. So I want to invest in Chaos, right? And the thing is that I would be sinking about $270 into the deck for where it is right now. We know that the Stargate booster comes out, March 9th and whatnot. So then, depending on how much the heal trigger is, because I saw the heal trigger was looking like it was coming out, the heal trigger was going to be out, be around $20 on release. It might go down to between 10 to 15, and then close. And those are probably the only pricey cards out of the set for Chaos Breaker. So, knowing that means you're going to have, you'd have to sink in more money to it. Tired of people calling me. But then that would mean, obviously going to sink a little bit more money into that set. But then, again, I'm not sure of the future. Okay? Now, hear me out. I'm not sure of the future. I don't know how the game is going to change. If this is going to be the end of the G era and maybe the Stride era or whatever it is, then what you're looking at is kind of the same pattern followed. When we ended the Break Ride, the Break Ride Limit Break era went into Legion. Most of the Break Ride Limit Break decks just faded out. It wasn't going to happen. And then you had to play Legion. When Stride came out, it took maybe a set or two. It took about 2 sets, whatever it is. But Legion, kind of just got, again, phased out of the game. For some reason, I doubt that Stride is really ever going to get phased out of the game. And they just might make a different mechanic that could involve Stride, so to speak. Because they've gone the route of actually having an extra deck. Now, they could change it up to kind of how, remember, Yu-Gi-Oh! They had synchros, you have a tuner monster, and then you combine them, send them to the drop zone to summon a synchro. You had Exceed, you place 2 cards on top of each other, with the same level, summon an Exceed monster. You had Pendulum. I think Pendulum was the dumbest mechanic, but now you have, Link, where you can special summon one monster, then you have to have, you can special summon things only to their link. Otherwise, it's kind of normal summons. But for this, for this game, I don't know how it's going to change, and I just feel that if I invest in, my Chaos and Stride deck now, then how much time would I have to, when is the next stuff going to come in that's going to kind of phase out my current investment? Now, there is that. Now, here's the other factor. I don't really have any local tournaments to go to. I have one. There's one in Virginia I could go to. But that's on a Sunday night, and Mondays is obviously a school day. I got to be up early, and I'm not always going to have the whip to go down there. And then I can get back up here to my house, get late. So that's not always an option. But other things go on Sundays, so there's that. The other 2 locals near me have stopped. One stopped supporting Bushiroad games altogether. The other locals hasn't fired a Vanguard tournament since July, which was literally the last time I went to a Vanguard local. And then the other local that I know I go to is up about damn near 2 hours away. So, I see. Yeah, I know, Peter. The Play More Games is having tournaments on Saturday afternoons. When I've gone to Play More Games, trying to see if they were actually doing Vanguard tournaments. It was usually like about like 4 people that just show up to play the game. But if they're going to actually start firing tournaments on Saturday afternoons, then I'm definitely going to consider going. But as it stands right now, I don't really. As it stands right now, I consider myself Tiger Woods. The reason why I say Tiger Woods is because Tiger Woods doesn't play in like small tournaments or anything like that, like locals or whatever it is. He only plays in the big dogs. And that's where I'm at right now. Is that I play in our ARGs and our Dynasty Cups and our Bushiroad Shop Championships. I've gotten into judging and I really like judging. I'm going to start commentating. I'm definitely going to look to start commentating. Hopefully we can get some live streams up for Dynasty Cup and I can actually start commentating those. But back to the original point, you see where my predicament is that I'm unsure of the future of where the direction of the game is going. So I don't know how much I'm going, I don't know how long my investment in Chaos will be. And I don't know, and yes, I know, I guess we're going to be starting getting a locals in a way, but, I'm a bit skeptical about that, how regular the locals is going to be, if it's going to keep up, if it's going to last, how many people are actually going to show up. Since you said there's one starting in March, but as it stands right now, the local tournaments that I could go to, are not close. They are a bit of a drive. One's a super drive. The other one's a bit of a drive away. I don't mind driving there. I like driving there. But, again, when I take into account that my Sundays are generally packed and it's a school day, early school day the next day. So, there is that. So that's my predicament right now. And, what I want to give a message to you guys is that if you're thinking about building a deck or whatever it is, honestly, if you love the deck, sure, build it, play it just like me with Aquaforce. It doesn't matter what it is. But just, so you don't feel like you're going to get burned, so to speak, consider the context. How often do you go to locals? How often are you going to sit there and play the game? How does the future look? At least for right now, if this stuff was coming out like 3, 4, or 5 months ago, I would have said screw it, fine, whatever. But you see the direction the anime is going, you see the direction the game is going, so just a lot of context to consider when deciding to build a deck or improve a deck, especially mostly because of how expensive it is. That's really it, mostly because of how expensive it is. Okay, that's done. For people who want to go to a tournament the first time, yes. I'll tell you about my very first tournament experience. So, my first tournament was at this, the local shop that stopped supporting Bushiroad games called Dream Wizards. And I took my Maelstrom deck there. It was set 9 Maelstrom. We just got Glory Maelstrom and whatnot, and it was my first tournament ever. Basically, I was, meeting people for the first time and things like that. And because I played Yu-Gi-Oh! For a while and I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! To play Vanguard. And I was just coming off of knee surgery when I actually got to go to the tournament. So there was that. But, I was playing in the tournament. Did pretty well. But it got to the final round. I think it was round 4. I was 2-1 at that point. And I was playing against a guy who's a good buddy of mine now. Brent, he knows who he is. He was our resident Shadow Paladin player, playing the old school Phantom Blaster deck, and it literally came down to where I had just enough to block his Blaster Blade if he got one trigger, and I was going to be able to, Glory Maelstrom for game the next turn. But he hit 2 triggers, and I was literally 5k short, and so I missed out on top. But so that was that. But then the following week when they had this big 40 plus, it was like a 42-man tournament or something like that. It was kind of like one of those where learn how to play Vanguard Day, and then we're gonna have a tournament. It's like 42 players. I was able to top that one. You know, we ended up we ended up being forced into splitting what was it, top 8, but yeah, it felt pretty good. But so for your first tournament, basically, I would say like the day before, 2 days before, just practice. Like, do this. Like, take out your deck. You know, set it out, and you know, just kind of shuffle, draw your hand, and kind of just like shadow play yourself. You know, figure out what moves you can do. Set up different scenarios. You know, ride Thavis, call this here, and see how many different, you know, see what kind of attack combinations work and things like that. Just be, you know, just be calm. Stay within yourself. Don't, you know, you don't need to stress out or anything. It's not that serious. It's just a local, man. It's just a local. So, you know, but it's, you know, now obviously you play against an asshole, then you should have the right to fuck him up, to fight him. But I'm not gonna say don't do that. But you know, again, if it's your first tournament, you're obviously going to be nervous. You're going to have the jitters and whatnot. But yeah, man, just stay within your game. Know your rulings. Play it. Check everything. Double check. You know, even if you feel like you're playing a lot slower than the other player is, you know, just stay within yourself. Obviously don't slow play, but you know, just stay within yourself. Make sure you know you're doing your moves correctly. If you're unsure of a card and the ability of it, pick it up and read it. Don't forget to check your opponent's drop zone. You know, I mean, you know, just you know, just little things. Mostly stay within control. Control your mental state. Control what you can control on your board and the hand. When it comes to guarding, think about your attack that you want to take, that you don't want to take. But it's mostly important just to keep a cool head and stay in control. And you know, just play your game. That's probably the best advice I can give you. Just stay in control. Because once you lose control, once you start getting nervous, once you start trying to play a lot faster and you're nervous and whatnot, and you're just letting your opponent do a whole bunch of things and blah blah, then you're gonna lose it and done. Favorite sleeves for tournament? Well, since I'm a pauper in a way, usually whatever sleeves I can get my hands on. But personally, I don't like double sleeving my sleeves, even though my boy Gabe Domino Paris 21, he has like the freshest double sleeves. I love playing with his decks, but I like these these ultra pro sleeves, you know, single sleeves and whatnot. I like this. Yeah, it's a popper that plays it. But I like these sleeves the best. They're amazing. I wish I could read Korean. I think that's Korean. I wish I could read Korean. I don't have a translator on my computer. I don't know if I can. Oh, wait. I could translate to English. Glasses crooked. Yes, I know my glasses are crooked. Yes, I know. The glasses are kind of crooked. Actually, my phone's sort of crooked, but... No, the glasses are crooked. Shit. Damn. Glasses are crooked. Shit. I gotta get that fixed. How did I get into TCGs? Well, it started a long time ago. No, but seriously, I used to play Pokemon TCG back. Wow! I used to play Pokemon TCG back when I was a kid. Me and my friends would be outside playing on the, you know, those little electrical boxes that you're not supposed to play on. We would just play. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. We were just trading cards and whatnot. And so I loved it since then. Then I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Started watching the show. Started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! My uncle took me and my cousin up to this bookstore up in Laurel, Maryland, to play in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. I got extra stomped. But that was back when like the Yugi and Seto Kaiba trial decks were out. But then, you know, when I was in like middle school and high school, you know, I was getting this stuff. I was getting a little bit better here and there, but I was never really committed, never really good. I just played, you know, I mostly played sports and whatnot, football and basketball and whatnot, and video games, obviously. But then when I got into high school, that's what, like, my 11th grade year of high school is kind of when I got more serious about playing card games in a way. So I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot then. Then I entered, when I went to community college, you know, I had stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For about a year or two because I wanted to about a year, because I wanted to go ahead and graduate. But then I got back into it because my local, you know, I met some good people up there, and played Yu-Gi-Oh! And that was it. Played Yu-Gi-Oh! From community college, transitioned into Vanguard, and then recently I've picked up Dragon Ball Super, and I've never been happier. Actually, I have been happier. There's this one girl. Wait, never mind. I said chill. What's the most epic game I've ever had to win or lose? My most epic loss, a loss that I don't know if I liked the way I lost or anything like that, was when I came back from college. I went to college in Ohio. Came back from college. Played in the Dynasty Cup in January. This was at the end of the Legion era. I was playing my boy Blaster Joker, and oh yeah. So and this was actually, one was a win, one was a loss. But I was playing Blaster Joker, and I was in top 4 playing against Kaguro Perditions. And literally, both of us were kind of going back and forth and whatnot. And we got into game 3. Game 1 I won, game 2 he won. So we got into game 3. And our match, because we weren't timing top, our match took like at least 30 to 40 minutes, but it was just nonstop back and forth, advantage here, pressure there, advantage here, pressure there, heel trigger here, heel trigger there. But I was able to seize the victory because I was able to destroy his Legion. I forced him to perfect guard and drop his other copy of Overlord, so he couldn't re-Legion. And you know, I had enough shielded to block his turn, and then I went into my last turn, and I was able to, I rested Marin, gave my Vanguard an extra 10k, swung 30. He had a no guard. I had like 3 cards left in deck, Twin Drove, and I didn't hit any triggers, but he didn't have enough to guard it, and I won the game. So that was one of my most epic wins. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And then final round, I ended up losing in I guess an epic downfall. But basically games 2 and 3, because I was playing against Risers, I cleaned them up game 1, game 2 and 3. I was grade stuck, and back then when you were grade stuck, There was no G assist at all. I was grade stuck both games 2 and 3, and I kept damaging my like game 1. I was stuck at grade 1. I kept damaging my 2s because I couldn't really block them. I didn't get a 2 till basically it was too late. Then game 3, I was stuck at 2 and kept damaging my 3s, and I was like, well, shit. So that was possibly one of my most epic losses. I really was pissed about. But yeah, that was one of my more memorable wins. I have a lot of good memorable wins. Winning the Dynasty Cup with Aquaforce was definitely something I was happy about. I went undefeated that entire tournament with Thavis. Really happy about that. And then winning with Chaos Breaker last year was pretty good too. So yeah. Gave heavy support to Transcore Blue Flight for Aquaforce. No. Interesting, yeah, but no. I think the Break Ride Legion era is over. I think that some things just should be buried in the past and need to stay there. You know, so nah. They tried that with Maelstrom. Nah. Yes, I do. If you give like Murakumo, okay. So, 1 second. Ethan, you got to be careful with that question, bro. There are some decks in the game that could break the game, so to speak. You give Nubatama... Now, yes, we've transitioned Nubatama into Dominates, whatever, but back when Nubatama was all about hand control, you had to be real careful about that because you give Nubatama, you know, the ability to destroy the... And I mean, by turn basis, consistently destroy, that's their whole mechanic. Destroy the only interaction that you have within this game, which is to guard your opponent. You're going to be careful with that. Same thing with Angel Feathers and Grand Blue. You know, for Grand Blue, the drop zone is a more or less infinite resource. Unless they make a deck that works, that's not Gear Chronicle, but works from the bind zone. Like they have a card where if a card would go to the drop zone, it goes to the bind zone instead, and then you can call cards from the bind zone or something like that. But you have to be real careful with decks that have, you know, like Nubatama ability to mess with your hand, Grand Blue the ability to have an infinite resource like the drop zone, Angel Feathers, you know, using their damage zone as a second hand, so to speak. Certain things like that you need to be real careful about. But Murakumo is something I think that does deserve to be to get some good support. I think the Shadow Stitch support is kind of nice, but again, it's slow and it is kind of weaker to field destruction more so than a lot of other, you know, other clans, other things like that. So yeah, but again, like I said, you got to be real careful with certain clans that haven't gotten support for good reason. It's hard for them. Now, I actually am thinking, where's my deck? Give me a second. I'm gonna do a video tomorrow, I believe, when I get home. We're gonna be talking about Sipla. Yeah, see here, Sipla. I think she is the key to... I think she is possibly the most important grade 2 in the deck. Even though Tidal is my boy, you guys know Tidal is my favorite rear guard of all rear guards. Nothing has been able to replace Tidal yet. But I think Sipla is the MVP of the grade 2 lineup for Thavis right now. Sipla just... She's changed the game so much for Aquaforce, so we're definitely going to be taking a look at her soon. No, Tachikaze is fucking dangerous. Let's get that out. Let's clear that out there now. Tachikaze is dangerous, man. We got this one local player. I call him. He always plays John always plays shit, no, fuck. I'm having a brain fart right now, but you know, he plays Tachikaze's nonstop and pretty good strategy. First turn dogma again, and generally you win. But I think that it's I think Tachikaze is a really good clan. I think that Tachikaze does suffer against control though, having to eat their units and whatnot, but you know, when we stop seeing if we stop seeing as much control soon, I think that they're going to definitely be Tachikaze is definitely going to start seeing on more shine. What do you think is it was or is the most game breaking card? The most game breaking card was Nouvelle Vague. I played Novell because that was good. He was good. Novell was a fucking monster. Back in the day when Novell came out, me and my boy Black Steve used to go at it. It was either Tetra Drive versus his Blau or Novell versus Blau. Like I was able to definitely take multiple locals. First place finishes in multiple local tournaments with Novell. Novell is just so broken. Being able to literally, Novell was that deck that was broken to the point where you don't call your starter out of your soul, because you can Gatling, so it's like you ride, you have your Novell search or whatever it is, but then you take a damage, Gatling Claw the starter, Superior ride Cruel Dragon, next turn ride Novell, and it's like, well, shit. And Superior riding Cruel Dragon, getting it, even though he'll be at 8k, okay, sure, with a small boost, I can still hit, and I got Twin Drive already, and you're sitting at grade 1, shit. And then by the time you ride into grade 2, I can ride into Novell Vague. Novell Vague is like, well, you can't use grade 0s to guard me, and I'm at a 13k base. At most, if you're going to guard Novell, you have to give up, he forces you by himself. He forces you to give up at least 2 cards in order to force a 2 to pass. If not, yes, 1 card for a 1 to pass. If you boost him with 4k, it's 3 cards for a 2 to pass and 1 card and 2 cards for 2 cards for 1 to pass, 3 cards for 2 to pass, or you perfect guard him, which is 2 cards from the hand. And then Novell had the skill where he can nuke your whole field. So, I mean, that deck was so good. Novell was a shit. Did you just assume her gender? Aloha? Did you just assume her gender? Or his gender, whatever? Its gender? It's like, nah, chill. But yeah, Novell was just... Novell, that deck needed to get hit. When I played against it with Chaos... Again, you didn't call your starter out your soul because, you're going to get Cruel Dragon. Some people play Dauntless, but I was just like, Dauntless was a cool card too, but, Cruel Dragon and you're hitting your starter, grinding to grade 3 while my opponent's at grade 1? Bruh. Why do you do parodies of Vanguard content, Peter? Why? Oh, that new clan. Oh, what was it? Union Force, I think it was. Yeah, Union Force. Yeah. If it's a new clan in the game, I'm going to build it and play it. But, yeah. Are we going to get a female protagonist? I hope so. But, yeah. I really hate Chrono. I honestly, I hate the Vanguard protagonists. I hate Aichi and I hate Chrono. I think they're both bitches. Shit, I burped, excuse me. Yeah. Seal Dragons. Seal Dragons. My brother used to be a Seal Dragon player way back when. But Seal Dragons, they make you call grade 2s out, but there's again, like I said, it got to a point in the game a long time ago where there were too many grade 2s that on call do too many things. Seal Dragons just don't have enough oomph there. They just don't have enough oomph to finish off games. It's kind of like, well, recycling. They don't really have enough push. They don't really have good control mechanisms. Seal Dragons are just there. Now, I might go to a tournament and get my ass beat by a Seal Dragon player now that I said that, but consistently, Seal Dragons just ain't worth it. And like I said, archetypes like Seal Dragons and Blue Storm and, things like that, I think Bushiroad just needs to let them die, let them stay in the past. Whatever. Cristiano Ronaldo, what's up? Hola, mi amigo. Yeah. Do I like the Vanguard G anime? Yes and no. I hate Chrono as a protagonist. Um, I'm not a fan of Shion. Not a big fan of Tokaha either. So, not a fan of the three protagonists. Ibuki Koji is probably my favorite character. No, Vallejos is my favorite character. The dude, Vallejos, yeah, he was cool as shit until he started getting ugly because, like, Gize-sama! But no, I like Leon, but they didn't show enough of Leon for me. I liked Jaime, but then they turned him into a cheerleader, and that was bullshit. He's supposed to be a European Intercontinental pro player, champion, whatever it is, but they, nah, man. They turned him into a cheerleader. So, you know, I do like some. I watch it because it is what it is, but, you know, I'm just not a big fan of a lot of the protagonists, you know, their character and, you know, who they are and how they were developed and things like that. Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that, Adis. Don't ask me that. I'm going to just tell you straight up, Blue Waves. Blue Waves need some help. I mean, I would love to see Blue Waves actually get some help. And I know that some people are going to say, oh, well, I topped my local tournament with Blue Waves. I did, well, yeah, no. Blue Waves need such a helping hand. And I made the video. They just need a helping hand with everything. They need somebody to hold their fucking hand. So, yeah. What other sub-clan? Battle Sisters are pretty good now. Not really I'm not really looking forward to sub-clans. I like this generic thing. You know, my thing is, it's like, literally, like, what these sub-clans promote is very strict and less free deck building. And I like, oh, God have mercy. Hi, Matt. It doesn't promote creativity. You know, so I like this generic things. You know, like Thavas works with a lot of the generic support and whatnot. Yes, Chaos Breaker, the Starvader thing got it, but you know they can even work. Not that you're going to play it, but they still work with the generic support. You know, they're not hindered by having a non-Starvader in the hand or the soul or anything like that. Not even respond to that, Matt. You're ugly. Let's see. Revival Collection Volume 2. Revival Collection. Oh, right. What is that? Revival Collection? What would I like to see in Revival Collection? I'd like to see a lot of different things in Revival Collection. Would love to see... Shit, I just said I would like to see stuff, but I don't know what I want to see. Maybe just you know, I will. Oh, chaos stuff. I would love to see some chaos stuff be printed in the Revival Collection. Just you know, reprint maybe reprint chaos for me. Reprint. You know, a lot of other things. Chaos for me. Maybe some of the Neo Nectar stuff. But basically, in layman's terms, yeah, Dogma. So basically, a lot of things where it's been printed once, like stuff from the Technical Booster, Obi Tranis and things like that. You know, just cards that were printed once, that are hard to get and are overpriced. I would like to see them get a nice reprint. I'm all about reprints and being accepted because my thing is like, I want everybody to have a chance to be able to get the cards for, you know, a fair price, so to speak, be able to play the deck, because it's like, sure, you know, you're going to have mirror matches here and there, but then thing I love about mirror matches is who's better with the deck. How do you know your own matchup better than your the opponent? So, Crayon Tiger reprint. That's something that could cheers to that. What do you want, Matt? Hey, what's up, Jared? Hey, what's up, my boy? What's up, PA represent? Hey, why weren't you at the Dynasty Cup in PA though, Jared? Why weren't you there? Tell me. Why was that? Why? Where the hell were you? I was looking for you. Shannon was there, but you weren't there. Oh, no, and Narukami is amazing. Narukami, my brother plays it. Narukami is amazing. The thing about Narukami is that they're still kind of slow, but that starter definitely speeds them up. I think V-Buster is an outstanding card for them. I really like Narukami. I really do. I think that definitely good. I wish that they had a little bit better of an early game, so to speak, when it comes to Retire and Control. But I think they're definitely an outstanding deck. Can definitely get things out of the drop zone a lot faster. Even though I'm still not a fan of the Thunderstrike ability, they had to compensate for it by helping you get to Thunderstrike a lot faster. So I think that Narukami is definitely a good investment. Definitely a good investment. Definitely fun and worth playing. Okay, before I go up, I lost to your bugs. I lost to your Mega Colony deck. When was that? 2 years ago? That was 2 years ago. When you were here, we had a chance to play, but I was at the top tables. We could have had a rematch, but I was at the top tables. I couldn't find you, bro. The clouds like to surround the mountain, and you can't really see past them. So while I'm at the top and you're still at the base of the mountain, it was hard to kind of see you from there. But next time you're in town, we're gonna get a match. We'll get a match on the side. Definitely, we'll get a match on the side. You're probably not gonna win, but we'll get a match on the side. This year's Fires Collection, I'm expecting bullshit. I'm expecting bullshit from this year's Fires Collection. Fires Collections, guys. Fires Collections, guys, is everybody gets a piece of candy. Everybody gets a little piece of candy. Even though, Johannes is a little bit overpriced, in my opinion, from the Fires Collection and whatnot from last year. Fires Collections is everybody gets a little piece of candy. Everybody gets a little taste of the new mechanic, the new hotness, Last year we got the Super G Guards and the heal triggers that do things. But, yeah, nah. I think all we're doing is getting a little candy. Not much. Sup, Wojciech. I can't pronounce your fucking name, sorry. But what's up, Wojciech? What's up? Oh, you had to work? True. True. Wojciech Szczesny. Okay, Wojciech Szczesny. Easy enough to pronounce. Actually, what I do want to see for Aquaforce, sadly, what I do want to see for Aquaforce is, can Bushiroad make a card that's going to make me consider not playing Tidal Assault? Can they do that? That's the challenge for Bushiroad. Can they do that? Next G-Tech booster. You know, the tech boosters is basically for clans that get support once a year, year-round, something like that. Next tech booster, probably, I would like to see Genesis get support. No, not that clan. That clan's trash. Genesis, probably Grand Blue, and Narukami. Genesis, Grand Blue, and Narukami. Cheers. Yeah, son. We'll get it in, Jared. You know we're gonna get it in. No, let brawlers die. You gotta leave stuff in the past, man. Some things just need to stay dead, man. Even if it's your favorite, I'm sorry. Some things gotta stay dead, man. The best era of Vanguard easily was the Break Ride Limit Break format to me. Break Ride Limit Break format. Best era of Vanguard. Why was it the best era of Vanguard? Because it forced you to actually think. The game was a lot slower. We didn't have an extra deck, so you know you had your deck, you had to play your game, you had twin drive, whatnot. The game was a lot slower. You know, basically it's like once you hit 4 damage at limit break, it was like, okay, now my Vanguard can actually start doing something, so to speak. But it's like you're at limit break, that means you're kind of closer to death. You know, personally for me, I like to keep myself at 3 until I've built up enough damage, or there's an attack that I really don't want to, that I really just need to take at 3 and then go to 4, 5 if they crit me. Hopefully they don't double crit me, but I'm just like, I love that format so much. Just being able to, you know, break riding, get that really powerful turn off, or just limit break. Oh my gosh, it was so fun. To me, it was a lot more skill intensive. You know, now it's like, yeah, ride, stride, throw a bunch of cards out, get a quad drive, hit a bunch of triggers, build up 1,000 cards in hand, pass turn, G-Guard, you know. Things like that. Because people like animated females on cards. I like Asha. I have a soft spot for Asha. I like the deck, like the way it plays, like the way it's grown, but can't do it. I hate brawlers. Do I hate brawlers? Yeah, my brother ruined it for me. I hate JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, so yeah. Jared ruined brawlers for me. My brother Jared. Well, my other brother Jared. I have a PA brother, and then I have the one that's here. Bushi should give us a best 2 out of 3, but with the way that some people are playing this game, I think best of 1 is just perfectly fine. I mean, shit, some people are taking forever. I mean, literally, I'm sitting here watching judging the tournament, and I'm sitting here looking at a player's hand. I'm like, okay, you're getting swung at for like 36k. You have just enough shield to block 1 attack on the board. He still has rear guards to hit with. You have 3 damage. Just take the hit and move on. It's like, or when it's like you're at 5 damage, you have like 3 grade 3s in hand. You know you can't block it, but you're gonna sit there thinking about how can I give these grade 3s 10k shielding each. No, you can't. Just take the damage and get on with the next game. You know, some people just sit there the whole time and think about stuff that they can't do. It's like, no, just move it along. Or they're sitting here checking someone's drop zone four times in the same turn. You know, rereading a card effect like 3 or 4 times in the same turn. It's like, come on now. You're a competitive player. You should know what the hell this card does. And if you did read it, sure. But you don't need to keep reading it several times, then call a judge. I mean, that's just slow playing at its finest. You know, don't give me that bullshit, man. Just move on. Just move on. But yeah, and that's the stuff you deal with in 2 out of 3, man. But I think 2 out of 3 is good. It's a good tournament form, which is why I like ARGs. 2 out of 3, that's where it is. I'm not a big fan of best of ones, but 2 out of 3 with a possible option to side deck. Though side deck is not evident in this game. You know, we do that in Super, but not here. Yeah, the new grade 3 D-Robo does give them tissues. People need to let go of D-Robos too. It's time for them to die off. I mean, I'm just, God of mercy. Chrono Heritage is amazing. Yeah, I like Chrono Heritage. Gear Chronicles are going to be disgusting again. Still. Let me see. Beast DD Reverse. Beast DD Reverse was okay, but regular Ethics Buster was just overall better, a lot more consistent. Am I going to the ARG New Jersey Regionals or too far of a drive? When is the New Jersey ARG Regionals? I don't know when that is. Nah, son. African has a kid to watch. he don't have time to beat my ass. Oh, February 17th? No. That's this weekend. Yeah. I'm going to. I might be depending on what it is. I might be going to the Maryland ARG instead of the New Jersey ARG. I'm probably just going to go to the one around here, or the not Maryland, Virginia ARG. Yeah, probably going to be going there. If not, I'm going out with some college buddies to go see Black Panther on the 17th. But so there's that. I might actually do both. Shit. With the Cosmic Hero support is good. The Cosmic Hero support I think is really good. I think it's underrated. The problem with D-Police players that I've encountered, not all, but most I've encountered, is that they have this attachment to D-Robos where all you do is just drive check to win the game and you just try and sack your opponent. No. I think I think the Cosmic Hero support is good, but I think it's going to definitely take a lot more. I think it's going to be a good deck, but low representation. We might be doing a Dynasty in April up here again. Yes. Oh. If we're doing it, yeah, because I'm going to talk to Juan and Zach and them. If we're doing a Dynasty up there again in April, yeah, I know you're Derek. I know you, my boy Derek, because I know you've been talking to Steve. Yeah, if we're going to be doing it, I will be there. If we're doing a Dynasty up in PA again, Jared, you better be there. I'm going to definitely be there. I know, Derek, you're going to be judging again. I wish you would judge all of our tournaments, damn it, and teach me your ways. But I think I did a pretty good job of judging at the Virginia 2v2. But yeah, Derek is like one of the best, really good players and fantastic judge. Knows his rulings, doesn't take shit from nobody. That's why I love it. Oh yeah, 3-on-3. Everyone shows up for 3-on-3. 3-on-3 is really fun. A lot of people love to show up for 3-on-3. Yeah, I'll definitely be there. I'll probably most likely be playing in the tournament. So yeah, I'll be up there for that 3v3. Once y'all set it up, let me know, and then I'll make a video and let the people know. How do I like I love Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Oh my gosh, it's a good. The game does have flaws in a way because I don't like the Super Dash mechanic. I think that mechanic is kind of scrubby in a way. Literally, it's like okay, I'm gonna go for a meaty, but if if I don't go for meaty real quick, meaty's kind of like, you know, doing a low attack on a get up, then they're gonna super dash right in, you know, super dash right into you. Like you finish a combo, like, you know, you do you know, you're down heavy, knock them in the air, and then that's like the end of the combo. Then they're gonna super dash all the way down to you, but then you can down heavy again to knock them up in the air again. So I think it's pretty good. I think you know, there are ways to counter it, and it's just something you have to live with. But super dash is just an extremely scrubby thing, and that's what I don't like. Kid Buu to me is kind of stupid, busted. Gohan is nasty, but yeah, I love the game. The game is really fun. I'm still trying to figure out my team right now. I'm running with Goku Black, Gotenks, and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, but I'm going to be changing out Blue Vegeta. Probably I'm looking at Piccolo or Tien because I kind of like the way they play. I might keep Gotenks, but Goku Black is probably going to be like my anchor. He's like my last one, but I think I'm probably going to I'm going to be experimenting probably tonight after I get my homework done with Tien, Piccolo, and I might have to go to the dark side, play a little Kid Buu, you know, play some Kid Buu here and there. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at now for that. Let's see. Ethan asked, do I like Super the anime, not the card game? Of course! I am a Dragon Ball fanatic. I love my my Dragon Ball anime. It's amazing. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone in the chat right now, but it's outstanding. Oh my gosh. There are some things that I question about in a way. I'm mad that it's going to go on a hiatus in a way, and you know, at the end of the Tournament of Power. But I love Kale, love Khalifa, love Kefla. Those are my girls. Cabba's my boy. Hit is such a cool character. Topo is disgusting. Jiren is a what the hell, you know. Android 17, rest in peace, my man's. Gohan's still a jobber. He should have taken over the series. Goku's still a cheater. Vegeta's still cool, but he's a jobber. Yeah, it's a great series. I love Dragon Ball Super. I watch it every weekend. Goku Black is over. Yeah, I know Goku Black's overused. I mean, but think about it. Goku Black is kind of like Chip from Guilty Gear in a way, but it's like Goku Black just has a really strong neutral game. Really good, really good ranged attacks. You know, with his Black Kamehameha and Binding Kamehameha. And you know, he has really good air control too. I mean, he's all around just a really balanced, solid character all around, much like regular Super Saiyan Goku is. I think that him and, you know, basically, you know, both of those characters are really good, just good characters all around, easy to pick up and play with and do well. But I like Goku Black because that's my, you know, it's nigga black. Nigga black. Oh yeah, Kid Buu hit Goku, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That Goku, that Gohan. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Kid Buu hit Goku. Yeah, that's a good squad. That's a really good squad. Hit's a real technical character. Doesn't have good air control, air combos, but on the ground he's a monster. Being able to do he's literally cross up city, like dash through your opponent, cross up, nice ranged little punch attacks. Really good character, good counter. I got hit with his mean ass counter in the air. I was mad as shit, but yeah, it was pretty. I like Hit. Well, see, Jared, let me tell you something about these D-Robos. D-Robos are nothing but a clan that relies on drive checking. So, you literally, you luck sack your way to victory. If it got a game, yeah, if it got like an official online game like Duel Links, and they could do Duel Links because we only have 3 sections anyways, or 6 sections, whatever. But so it could be like Duel Links. But if if it was produced by Bandai Namco and not Bushiroad and actually had an online game like Cardfight Online was supposed to be, then the game would grow immensely. It would be a lot better. It's like nobody wants to play on Cardfight area all the time. Have to download from the Russian site and things like that. Nobody wants to do that all the time, man. And it would improve the game. It would give you something to do on the go, obviously. But it's like you can climb the rankings there. It's practice for real life tournaments. And the thing is, if we had an online Vanguard system like that produced by Bushiroad, like what Cardfight Online was supposed to be, I know a lot of my subscribers, because I talk to you guys. I'm in the comment sections. You guys hit me up on Facebook, in my Discord, everything like that. Some people don't have locals. Some people just literally, and they're in kind of a situation, they're maybe in a worse situation than me, where if I can get the whip, I can go down to Virginia to play, whatever it is, but they don't literally have a locals. They're in an area where their locals stop supporting the game, or, and they still want to, but they still love the game, they still want to play, and their area is really a discouraging area from them actually being able to play the game, experience the game, and whatnot. But having that online game would give people who don't have a locals, like the feeling of playing the game. Like, hey, I don't need to go out and buy the cards. I can just do the transactions online to buy packs and things like that. And I can play online, or I can, earn points by winning matches and then unlock packs and, do things that way. But you're going to be, competing in the online tournaments, things like that. So I think that online would grow the game immensely, give people a much better platform to practice on, and it would just been overall better for the game. But Bushiroad freaking botched that one. So Geese, I think Geese's skill, I think I said this before, but I think it's going to do something with the ZR since he's like an overstride. So, but it's hard for me to say. There's too many ways you can go about it with Geese's ability. What do I mean by not having a locals? So, for instance, when I say not having a locals, I mean not having a place where you can go consistently play in a tournament in a more or less competitive setting, like, firing off a tournament and things like that, or even just having a place where people can go to play. Not having a store, basically not having a store. You can play locally with friends, like when we play Yu-Gi-Oh! Before I really discovered going to Dream Wizards, when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! We would just play up at my school, Montgomery College. We would just play up at the school. And we still, they still do. They have like little regionals there, Montgomery College and whatnot, little tournaments there. But it literally just, we're just playing the game at at school, and that's just casually hanging out with friends. But you want to compete, you want to you want to test your deck out against people you don't play with every day, all the time, and whatnot. You want to play against new players you don't see all the time, different types of decks, different ideas. An actual competitive setting, getting ready for regionals, getting ready for an ARG tournament, things like that. Then and that place would be a local store that sells products, something where you don't have to go online to get. You can go to the store, so you can pick up your card sleeves, your deck boxes, look in the glass case, pick out cards that you need from the glass case, things like that. If that's basically what a locals is. It's kind of like your regular weekly stomping grounds where you go to get some competitive play in, or if you go there just for some casual play, but again, it's an environment where you go to experience the card game. Calling me, I'll call you later. Geese starts as a 0, then turns in a stride. Then flips the zeros to do damage. Ha! You need to kill that motherfucker quick. Do I think Aquaforce will get another set support soon and maybe a third Thavis? No! We get support once. We've been on this trend of getting support once a year. It looks like the G era is coming to an end. Now, if they're going to do something where Vanguard G ends and then Chrono, Tokaha, and Shion are still protagonists or whatever it is, but they pick it up where it's like, oh, they're in their last year of high school or something like that, kind of like how the Legion era was, so to speak, or whatever it is, then maybe possibly we can see that, but I don't know how long a season like that would run. So it depends on the direction they're going to go with for the anime, but personally, I doubt it. But, you know, we will see. Now, we could get another one, you know, because it's like this, oh, yeah, we still support Stride, so we'll make you another Thavis and blah, blah, blah. So there's that. But, again, it really is going to hinge on... Oh, no, if Pale becomes the main character, I'm perfectly fine with that, too. But it's really going to depend on the direction they're going to be taking the game when the new stuff comes out once this season ends. You know, again, like I said, we could be getting a new clan, new protagonist, different era. We could be getting an old, you know, again, older, you know, year, sophomore year, senior year of Chrono, Shion, and them, and Tokaha, whatever it is. So, there's a lot of different possibilities. I don't know what the main villain would be, because it seems like this season kind of feels like the Yubel arc, where where they kind of went to like the Yu-Gi-Oh planet and started fighting each other, and you lost, you got sent to the stars. But that doesn't look like it's happening here. It just looks like they're just going to set up for an ultimate battle on Earth and like in this Area 51 looking ass area. Yes, if Maelstrom received the support it has now back in 2015, then yes, I think Maelstrom would have been viable, and then they would have been to progress Maelstrom and give it more support continually through set 9 and then through set 13. But Maelstrom got his support 2 years too late, and that dream was dead. A Leon Legend deck, I doubt it. If anything, the next Legend deck is going to probably... If they make a Legend deck again, if they make another one, if anything, it's probably going to be Misaki. Everybody loves Misaki. Everybody loves, Team Q4 or whatever. I mean, you look at it, the Legend decks have been, Aichi, Ren, and Kai. So, you have that now. I think Leon should be one because Aquaforce, it was stated in the damn anime that Aquaforce is a legendary clan. So we should be getting one. I hope we do get one for my boy Leon. Because Leon is that nigga. But I'm used to being screwed being an Aquaforce player, so. Yeah, I mean, personally for me, fuck Misaki. I don't like her. No, Vallejo's is not a legendary. Wasn't Vallejo supposed to be an actual dragon? Huh. Okay. Now, it could end up where Chrono and them, during the battle with Geese, get sent to the planet Cray and actually have to, fight on the planet. They have the card fight on the planet Cray. And then, you'll see, Vallejo's in his true form, whatever it is. And he's like, oh, man, yeah, I used to like Geese, but then, I fucked up by following him. But now I'm going to be a good guy. But here's my true form as a dragon because I'm a good guy. Here's my true form, shit like that. But, you could do that, but nah. That to me would be trash. You don't need to go to Planet Cray. You don't need to, do that. That's no. No. Oh yeah, I loved Karma Dragon. That was amazing. and Grand Blue is good, but if Pale Moon and Grand Blue honestly were not Rummy Labyrinth, then if they were not Rummy Labyrinth, then yeah, if they were not Rummy Labyrinth, then I could see them getting much better support. But since they are Rummy Labyrinth, like literally, they're the side characters. They only show up once in the blue moon, so they're not going to get support. And it is what it is. Hey, what's up, Shin David? What's up, baby? What's up, man? How you doing, fam? How you doing? How you doing, fam? Yes, I'm live streaming. Trying to be like you, Shin David. Hey, if anybody likes to watch like Castlevania speed runs, anybody that likes to watch some Pokemon runs and whatnot, anyone that likes to watch some good Street Fighter action, whatever it is, go follow my boy Shin David on Twitch. He does you do midnight streams, and I think you started doing afternoon streams, but he usually does his streams like around midnight Central. Definitely go hit that follow button, throw him a subscribe if you like his content on Twitch. Really good late night content, very interactive with his viewing audience, which is what I feel streamers should be, very interactive with their viewing audience. So yeah, my boy Shin David, he's a Vanguard player, good game streamer. Sorry, I'm just... Alright, so let's go back. Let's see what questions we got here. No, if Royals are the main clan, I'm throwing my shoe at you, Skill. I'm throwing my shoe at you. I'm throwing my fucking size 12 at you. Sorry. Somebody needed my help. And I'm live streaming. I did want to go to I might go to the ARG this upcoming weekend in Virginia. But I don't know yet. I'll have that answer probably by the end of this week. Sorry about that. I'm just my friend needed help with something, and I don't own a car. Oh, Chaos Breaker's probably gonna lose, so being a dumbass. An Overlord build that's defense. An Overlord build. I will mess. See, I'm not an Overlord player, so to speak, but I basically like if I was to think one off the top of my head, probably like 7 crit, 5 draw, 4 of the new heal trigger, the one that counter charges or soul charges when you bind it. Your grade 1s would be Protect Orb, 4 Protect Orb, Conroe, or the Stride Fodder, Conroe, and then the new Doombringer Griffin that lets you retire him in Stride. Grade 2s, obviously you're going to be running the new Nahalem, so because every time your Vanguard attacks, he gets 5,000 power, so he's a 16k automatically all the time, and he's an 11k by himself. Burning Horn Evolute, and that I can't remember that other dragon, but it's another grade 2. Basically, both of them get more. The more damage your opponent has, the more power that they get. So definitely those 2 cards. And then for your grade 3s, I would say 4 copies of Destiny, and then I prefer playing the Legend, but you could play the Cross and the End. Yeah, I could use tournament results. I don't know where they are at this moment. I'm not looking them up, but I'm just going off the top of my head. Why can't I move a fridge? Stride Zone, something like Purge, Denial, having like 3 Purge, 2 Denial Griffin, 2 Abid Salim, I call him the Infidel. Glow Heater Dragon, thank you, Glow Heater Dragon. Yeah, something like that. The Destiny is very strong. Overlord's a very strong deck. It's pretty pricey, by the way. I think the Purge is like. One second. So yeah, there's that. Yeah, Destiny is really, really strong. A very good deck. At Worlds, it was like it took up 6 of the 8 slots in top 8 of World Championships, so it's obviously really strong. But I'm gonna have to call it a stream. My friend needs help doing something pretty urgent, so. I want to thank everybody for joining me. We're going to be doing another live stream probably later on this week, maybe Wednesday. But I wanted to have this a regular thing of live streaming Mondays when I get out of class, Wednesdays when I get out of class, something like that. So yeah, definitely thank you guys for joining the live stream, and hope to guys see you again. Look forward to a video on Cipla coming out in a few. All right, Cardfight King, we out. Aqua Life, baby. Don't forget to join the Discord. And follow the page on Facebook. Hit the bell button. Like the video. All that good stuff. All right. We out. Peace. Pow.